got myself all caught up there. So, happy Friday, everybody. The rains have finally stopped. Oh my god. So, um, qualifications in kink. Um, I've had a few. Um, I've been around for a few years, and this has popped up a lot more recently, I think, but it still pops up with enough regularity to be of note that quite often there's a lot of people that will claim to be experienced in certain things for a long time, such as people who have been DOMs for 10 years but they're really 18 years old or 28 years old or 26 years old, which doesn't kind of click with the whole, quite literally legally you will not have been able to practice that stuff, or if you did that you were doing it illegally. So um but more often it's about how people have come into their kink, who they learnt off, all sorts of other stuff. Now, this is an issue for me because there's quite a few people I know who, from life experience, have learnt a lot. They haven't attended any particular university or courses or had senseis to teach them specifically about what they should and shouldn't do. Some of this can be good, particularly when you're starting out, to give you a baseline and give you a general idea and awareness of what is or isn't done. And but then you need to work in your own mind what best practices are, such as when a lot of people ask about creating um, protocols for relationships and how to negotiate and stuff. I'm like, well, you need to do it. You can talk to people about how they work their life and everything, but ultimately, without actually experience in doing it, without trial and error, and yes, you will get stuff wrong, um, you will not have the broad knowledge of experience that you would really need to be able to kink as safely as you can. Notice I didn't say as safely as possible, because it's always possible to do more and more to be safe. But also the fact that I have mixed views about things like workshops. Workshops I think are fine for a general knowledge, and raising awareness and pointing people in directions where they can get more information if they want. Put it out there. But also keep in mind that some of the people that run the workshops may not have as much experience as they think, or they show, or purport to show, or they are in fact the exact opposite of what they're actually trying to educate people on. And people ask me, why? But they've got good references, and I go, yes, but people being people, if you had a friend that did something bad, you go, oh, that seemed like kind of out of character for you. From what you know, from what you've been presented, you'd be like, oh no, that's surely not. Or a behaviour which would, for a lot of other people, be creepy, and you go, oh, but no, that's just them. They're a bit naughty, they're a bit flirty. Yeah, they're a little bit like that, but you know what? It's a lot of what you don't see, what other people might see, and you've got to wonder sometimes about the qualifications and what they're teaching, and if it meshes up with what they say that they do, what they're trying to teach best practices are, what they're actually doing. That's where I talk to people, say, look, words are words. What are their actions like? Are their actions and words matching up, like without them explaining, without you making excuses for them? Like, are they actually aware that this is what they're doing, which is the exact opposite of what they say they want or what they say they do? Think about it. um, don't make excuses for them because, they've got some certificate, or they've got taught by some grand poobah across the other side of the world, or went to some weird kink academy or college or university or took courses, because I can tell you right now there is no real legal courses in kink and what we do. There is no OH&S. There is no real sort of compensation if things go wrong, because a lot of people, hey, they like to say, oh, but I go to prick or rack or whatever. I go, yeah, so then you're acknowledging that what you do is dangerous. So if you go into it with that in mind, you then can't say, oh, but I didn't know, because you know that there's always an inherent risk of things happening, and you were made well aware of that. If not, then it's a whole buyer beware thing. So with regards to who's done what, again, I would rather talk to someone one-on-one, find out what their experience is. I would do background checks, talk to other people, and like I've said, I've been honest with people when they said, oh, you know, I'm thinking about doing this with this person. I said, okay, what are you into? Okay, keep in mind X, Y, and Z, and this may not be a good fit for you. However, you know, go for your life. And then they come back and says, oh my god, consent violations, I was traumatized. And I go, look, I told you, I really did tell you, I wasn't soft on it. I don't think that's helpful at all. If anything, I try and scare them off. But again, it depends. So your qualifications in kink. Sorry, just a bit cold here. Some people have experience, but again, it doesn't mean they have experience with you. It doesn't mean that the experience they have is necessarily in the area that you're curious about. Okay? There's plenty of people I know, and even my owner will say, look, oh, this is not really my bag, but you're better off going with these people and doing this. And that's fine. That's cool, because we know them for years. We've watched them play. And when I say when you watch people play, don't just look at, when you're vetting, don't just look at, oh my god, it's so fantastic, look at the pretty pictures. Look at how they set up, how they talk to them, how they talk to their play partners, before and after, talk to people in general, not just people that sing their praises, but people that really don't like them, because then you get that balance again of good and bad, and then work out if this particular kink thing, person, relationship is for you. So in terms of qualifications, I'm not always that impressed with actual kink qualifications. If someone is professionally qualified in something, I would probably give them a bit more credence depending on what they're talking about and their actions to date, because there's some people who have professional qualifications or a lot of experience in a particular area, but then there's been periods of time when they've just thrown that out the window and said, no, seriously, it is okay to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, you do realize how sensitive parts of the human body are, and brain damage, seizures, strokey things, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, and don't get me wrong, it's not just medical stuff that people could have qualifications in. People could have stuff in engineering, which lends them the ability to do calculations on suspensions and all sorts of other stuff. But yeah. Anyways, that's enough for me on a Friday. It's going to be sunny this weekend. I plan on trying to chill out, because you can go a bit stir crazy with being locked inside for a couple of weeks with nothing but rain. And more rain. And more rain. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Think on that a little bit. Qualifications, your own experience and your own qualifications as well, which means that you are able to and are willing to explore into certain areas, and you know and be confident in what your knowledge is of yourself and when to call things quits. Okay? Catch you later. Bye. Morning, Christine. Hope things are going well. And now I'll sign off. I just saw you then. Okay. Catch you later. Have a good weekend, people.